Azure and what are the benefits are there. We will see here like step by step, like what is the exact architecture, what are the main resources are available in Microsoft Azure. Then we'll see like which resources we have to go through in detail as a SQL Server DBA. Fine. One second. So yeah, I changed the network. Okay. So basically say like we have uh, Microsoft is just displaying the highlights of Microsoft Azure in their website, Azure website. Yeah, time to market means like whenever any new product is required for any organization, so we'll get much time to market. Why? Because so no need to waste time in the process of what? Yeah, placing order, like receiving the products, configuring, testing. Okay, so then taking sign off from respective teams. So that lengthy process we can avoid. Microsoft is showing here immediate resources are available. No need to wait on IT to provision hardware. Fast deployment. Deployment can be done very fastly. Like previous day, we have seen if want some database, a small database. So immediately just by creating a subscription, we can provision the database by configuring the firewall policies. We can access the database. Right, means within some less time. So yeah, we can move ahead with the competition with the vendors like our vendors like client competition. They can be there in the market. Choice of platforms are there. Not only it supports Windows, we have Linux machines also. Means like wherever the application can be deployed. So yeah, we have options out there, platform options. As well as we have like containers are also there. We have seen in the previous day. We have one Kubernetes service is there. Like today, we know, right, after hardware virtualization was there, VMs. Still, we are working with VMs. And here, in Microsoft Azure, by default, whenever we are creating a machine, like for SQL Server virtual machine, it is basically a VM. Now we know, right, like in the market, we have after VM, next, next level we are going with what containerization containers. Those containers are also supported in Microsoft Azure. So almost all every platform is supporting. Right. Next one, see like flexible tools are there. We have different cross-platform development tools are available. Frameworks are available in Microsoft Azure platform. Reduce cost, leave, no need to invest in the infrastructure building. Means generally we have like a capital expenditure, capex, right? Then OpEx is there. Capital expenditure is not there to our clients. Means let's say as a software company, we have developed one product. No need that our client should build the data center. No need to purchase the hardware resources. So no need to invest in the infrastructure. Only they will take they will create a subscription. Yeah, they can pay with pay as you go option. So we can invest in uh, they can invest in the other areas. Okay, so we have seen like why Azure. Azure provides a set of significant features over other cloud platform. Basically, that I think we are familiar with. We have competitors are there like majorly AWS is there, Amazon Web Services. right? So as well as GCP is there, Google Cloud Platform, but AWS is the yeah, top in the market right now. But still, in Microsoft Azure, we have like various features are there, like various additional options are there as compared with the AWS also, like where uh, especially like programmability options are here more as compared with AWS. Means like we have PaaS capabilities. We can say indirectly PaaS capabilities are more here. Why? Because like and compared with AWS, cost is somewhat less. It is common like strategy for from Microsoft from beginning. .NET capabilities are there. We can customize anything with .NET. Security offerings are there. Means like we have seen like we can configure like just yesterday's demo public network we can configure. Means like it can be accessed from anywhere. We can have private network. Means like organization network. They can include what like particular through organization network only the resources can be accessible. Then hybrid solution for seamless cloud connectivity. We have like hybrid solutions can be developed already we know which is called hybrid cloud, right? Some resources can be maintained in the local data center and some can be maintained in the public cloud. Then integrated environment like which we can have integration. We have separate integration service is available so that even some resources are there in AWS or GCP or Alibaba like other cloud platforms. We can integrate easily. Then less cost as compared with other competitors, more data centers across globe. If we see here, we know already like Azure data centers or data regions. But already we know as a policy, like let's say we are deploying some application for Australia client, so it should be placed in the respective data centers only within the region. Right. So here see like we have see like very huge networks here. It's all the physical cables are there across the globe through the ocean. If I go to here, in case of yeah India, so we have like the huge data centers are there. Actually, uh, it's yeah, yeah globe table is the table also we can use. So like we have different data centers are there in here. See, we have something we can see here. If I go to yeah, here see like geographics. Under geography, we have regions are there. Okay, under regions, we have availability zones are there. Can check here what is region. Azure deploys in Azure regions, which is a set of data centers within latency defined perimeters that each have distinct pricing and service availability. Like we have like mm. so we have multiple data centers are there here in case of India. Like across the globe, we have data centers here. Means generally a region is a collection of what? Data centers. So the data center is also called as availability zone. Availability zone. If we go to here again, table. Hmm. Table we can filter here. If I go to Asia Pacific, yeah. If you check here, like we have right now, regions are there, Pune, which is basically Mumbai region actually. So then we have Hyderabad and Chennai. So still like year open in Hyderabad, still they are building actually. Both Amazon is also building in Hyderabad, but these two are readily available regions, Pune and Chennai. Why? Because for redundancy, minimum they will build two regions, okay, in a geography location. Uh, Yeah, so we can see here like products, what are the products are available. We can see here. Check here like in this region, availability zones here, available with three zones, means three data centers. Okay, even like one data center collapse, so no problem. We have same resources in other data center. Okay, for redundancy. That's why, like yesterday, while creating the backup policy or something, we have seen like some options were there, locally redundant, zone redundant, like some options were there. So locally redundant means what? Within the same region, data centers. Mm. Basically, data centers they are calling as what? Availability zone. What products are available here? We can see list of products. Disaster recovery. Suppose if this complete region is not available, no problem. All are sync here in Chennai region. Means again, it depends on the configuration what we are taking. Why? Because within the region, right? Within the region, we have availability zones. In availability zone, no problem. Microsoft is providing, I think, free of cost redundancy. But if want to maintain in local region as well as across the region, some resources, okay, anything servers, DBs, anything, we have extra charges are there. Okay. So that's why like options are available with the extra charges. Mhm. Like industry complaints, so it's like we know, right? Like they will take complaints from security, from like different departments, international organizations, global complaints. Just list they are showing. These are like different locations are available here. Right now, for example, we are using here. See, like they have built one region in North UAE North, which is a Dubai location with three availability zones. Mhm. But recently, I think they are building in the another here. S- North UAE. This one is different. Yeah, I think recently already they have started building with another uh, region here in Abu Dhabi, another city, another state of UAE. Like this, like from different locations, we have so many regions are available, so many data centers are available. Right. So that's why wherever you want, we can place the resources. Always best practice we have seen depends on the usage, application usage. We can choose the regions with the client approvals. Then benefits to existing Microsoft customers. What it's meaning? For example, let's say you want to deploy one VM, right? So for that VM, we need hardware, CPU, memory, like resources, storage, as well as OS, right? OS. On that we have SQL, right? SQL Server. But for example, already we have license, OS license, plus SQL Server license, for example. Okay. Yeah. So like in that case, remember, like no need to again pay for OS license. Okay. Yeah. No need to uh, yeah, uh, pay for additional license for Windows, as well as no need to pay for SQL Server license. Means existing licenses, if you have already, we can use those licenses so that the VM cost will reduce. VM cost will reduce. Right, right. Okay, yeah. Fine. So these are like we have different benefits are there, and we know already various clients are there who are using the Microsoft uh, Microsoft Azure. We have so many clients are there. Like it is common, like clients are growing day by day. Right. Then we have like already we know already data centers are there. This some old map is it. Benefits already we have seen global presence. Data centers are available across the globe. Redundancy and recovery. Correct, right? So we have different types of redundancy options are there where our resources can be maintained to avoid what? Data loss scenarios. Azure users can leverage a global network of data centers to maintain availability in a cost-effective manner. Uh, Two data replication options can be enabled in general here. One is LRS, GRS. Second one. LRS is what? Locally redundant storage. Data is stored locally within the primary region, which we have selected, right? Within the availability zones. Whereas in GRS, data is stored in secondary region, which is 250 miles. Generally, by default, they will build actually from the primary region, but within the same geography, means same India geography, but in Pune region plus Chennai region, for example. Okay, right, right. Okay, that is like LRS and GRS options are available with us in the Azure data center. Azure, okay. Normally, sir, LRS is free of cost, but if you want to maintain the databases or data file log files or backups in other regions with GRS, so we have cost is there, okay. Extra additional cost is there. Environment sustainability means like we have seen like global warming something, so are built as per the recommendations. Majorly say like Azure services can be divided into some three categories. App services, basically which are for our application team, right? So where we have uh, like in the app service, they can deploy .NET applications, Java applications, PHP applications, mobile applications. Okay, with whatever the options they want. Like they want like some special services or something. So catching the various options what they want. So they can use this app service purely for our application team. Whereas data services are there where we can store the data. So we can store the data in the form of databases as well as storage, nothing but SAN, NAS, tables like in data warehouse, something like this. Different types of data storage options are available. Basically here for Azure DB, we have to understand here, we need to work with data services with databases plus storage, right? To schedule backups, all those things. So storage is compulsory. That's why we have to work with the storage options. How to access the storage, how to take the backup into storage, how to download, upload files into storage. Okay, what are the tools we can use from our laptop if we want to upload something into Azure storage? What tools we need, as well as we know, right, while configuring like a backup in SQL Server, options are there. We can take backup into what local drive normally. Plus, we can take backup into network location. That is also we know. As well as like we can take backup into this Azure blob storage directly. We can schedule the backups into what Azure blob storage. For example, generally while taking backup, we have options are there, tasks, backup. Here see backup to disk is there, backup to URL. So here we need to mention here Azure storage container. Okay, we can mention the container name. Then what is the file name? We can define here. Container is like a drive, for example, in the Azure storage. We'll see that in the container we can have folders. In that we can have files. We can create a new container, but we need to sign in one time to the account. This means our subscription. Automatically, it will detect what are the storage accounts are there in the subscription. In the storage account, we have containers. Right. We'll see this anyhow as part of our while working with the storage. This one. That's why what I'm saying SQL databases and storage are compulsory for us. Then IaaS is their infrastructure as a service. Okay, so here mostly our systems team will work, right? Windows team, network team. Okay, in general, generally we should also have the knowledge. Okay, working with virtual machine, virtual networks. Like knowledge is required. What knowledge? Like what is VPN? Okay, what is load balancer? Some knowledge is required for us also for SQL DBS. Then these are the main services are there as part of Microsoft Azure main categories. Here once again, what are the sub services? Compute services are there. Compute services are nothing but what? This infrastructure services. Okay, so where if you want to create a virtual machine, okay, if you want to create a Windows server or Linux server, okay, anything we need to work with what? Compute services. One second. So, one second, let me log in to the web. Trying to log Second, I'm trying to log, taking time. We'll see here how to install SQL Server in Linux plus in the containers also. How to install in the container. Yeah, what is this? Just taking 1 second. Mhm. Okay, open the console. Opening the console. Portal.azure.com that we have username. Yeah, normally once we log in, yeah, once we log in, we know that we have these Azure services, right? Once we say create a resource, so here we have various services which we are trying to discuss now, like compute services. Okay, if I go to compute, so here see all the compute services are available, like container registry, container instances. We can create our own containers. We know right what is container. So like various options are available here, but generally we can create a container. Basically, remember, like our systems team or infra team will work with what compute services normally. If they want to create a Windows server, they can create a Windows server like Linux server or any Red Hat server, any server they can create. Even with the, they can have the containers, which is under compute service. So, for example, we can, if want to install SQL Server in a VM virtual machine, we can go with this here, Windows Server. We can create here. After creating the Windows server, then we can download SQL Server. We can install here. Means in the same way, tomorrow if you want to practice with Linux or uh, anything, we can use this machine. We can create Linux machine. Actually, right now we have RHEL 9 point something is there. We have like you can search here. 7 is there, 8 is there. So we can search for what? Even like Windows, we know, right? We have 2025 is also available. Mm, yeah, 20. These are all the containers actually. It's all the various images. Okay, all these are pre-configured images actually. If you take Windows virtual machine you want to create, already Microsoft has installed virtual machine. as a template. Just we need to make some entries. With these entries, the machine will be ready with us. For example, let's say where do you want to, that is common resource group, virtual machine name like SQL VM1. Okay, then yeah, availability zone, availability option. So I'm taking with the availability zone default option. We'll see. Then zone one. Right, in this East US, we have three zones, three data centers. Where do you want to place it? Is asking. Okay. Once again, remember already I've discussed all these are done by our systems team. But if you are handling both Windows related and both operations, so we need to do this. And like data center, which one you want? It is asking which version. 2022 19, which version you want? It is asking. Uh, like this here, we can see all the images here. We can select which version, which one you want. Then x64 is it. Basically, this ARM is there for Linux and other operating systems, right? Right. So run with this. We'll see. Spot discount. It's like this is for uh, yeah, building related. We'll see later. Size it is asking. Uh, yeah, these are the respective sizes are there. But for this image, which we have selected, this we can select it is saying how many virtual CPUs, how much RAM you want, how many data disk. By default, each data disk has 1 TB storage normally. Like that's here we can select here like cost it is showing around 3000 plus tax. Okay, for this VM select. Okay, so username I'm saying admin. Mm, yeah, must not include it is saying. Okay, should be more it is saying. Okay, okay. Uh, mm, just 1 minute. Right. Okay, so public inbound ports. So we can configure inbound outbound rules, which is done by our network team. Inbound ports here RTP I want to allow means like it should allow what RTP directly from anywhere. Mm. Some licensing already we know, right? If you have already existing licenses there, then we can reduce the cost. Okay, if you have existing Windows license like Windows this one 2019 license is there. Disks are there by default. OS disk 127 GB it is taking. OS disk type premium SSD, which with locally redundant storage means what within the region. Like standard, like normal hard disk is there. Like that's it. We can select which one you want, LRS and zone redundant ZRS. Okay, so let me go with the normal standard SSD or standard HDD just to yeah cost to optimize the cost. Key management, all these are optional clauses for us. Once again, I will go through some more detail, but we have to understand here, VM is not handled by our team, right? It is handled by our infra team. Yeah, virtual network means like it is placing the VM in what? One virtual network, actually. This is also a really huge concept. We'll see that again. What is the exact architecture of this VM? Normally, like we have a resource group is there, right? And the resource group we have virtual network, means virtual network. Yeah, just now it was showing here virtual network. Under virtual network, we have a VM, and the VM has its own local IP with the NIC card, NIC card. We can have local storage drives, okay, with SSDs or something. We can have external storage also can be attached like SAN, NAS, something. Network storage security energy network security group. This is firewall. In NSG, they will define what from where the access should be allowed. This is a like a VM, yeah, like architecture is there where our system team will work actually. But we should also have better to have knowledge, right? Mm, can go through later. So I will try to share some article. Then these are like then virtual network is there in that it is creating one subnet, right? Generally, we know already in network we have so many subnets, right? So 10.0.0 slash 24 subnet. Public IP, it will assign automatically. Means here by default here like Azure portal will assign one public IP. But whenever we reboot the VM, that IP will get changed. Okay. Instead of that one, you want to have a static IP. Okay, then we can assign even static IP to the VM, which will not change. Correct, right? And that static IP for the static IP, we have some additional cost for static IP. That we'll see that later. Network in NSG, network security groups. These are like firewalls, so we'll not required for us for SQL DBS, but if you have knowledge, then it is additional benefit only. But I will show you that also working with this virtual networks. Okay, we'll see the architecture step by step. Some for knowledge purpose. By default, 3389, right? RDP port is open by default so that we can take RDP of this machine. Some other options are there. We'll see later. Under management, we have management. We can enable like which authentication type is required, and see like whether like patch set automatically OS update should be deployed or not. All those options are available. Monitoring and alerting we can configure recommended alerts like we know, right? CPU related, memory related, disk related, services related alerts we can configure. Yeah, yeah, those are like various options are available for this VM actually. Mainly, we know already our systems team will handle these options in general. But see, this is a per year subscription, sorry, per hour subscription is there, means for this machine. Depends on hourly basis, like how many hours the machine, our client is using, he will pay. A summary is there, just will say create. Let's see whether machine is created or not. Validation pass it is saying initializing deployment. Means it is creating the machine. Once the machine is created, it assigns a public IP automatically, and we'll have one private IP also for this machine. Okay. Private IP we know right already for heartbeat purpose something to communicate with different machines. Public IP is for uh, to access from outside. Public IP. Like that say just we are creating a VM. After creating VM, like we need to we need to download SQL Server. We need to install SQL Server. We need to deploy SQL Server after create once the VM is ready. Right, that is the compute services are there, network services are there, which our networking team will work basically. Storage service is there, where our SAN or storage team will work. We should also have knowledge of all these as a TBA. Web plus mobile services, basically our web application team will work here. Database services, we know this is our complete service. Integration like ETL or some DevOps related team will work here. Security team will work here. Like development, monitoring and management. All for all these we have these options: monitoring plus management options. These are like various main services are there as part of Microsoft Azure. But once we log in, once we enter into deployment is complete, it is saying, let's say we'll go to resource. Yeah, this is my VM virtual machine. We can see here all the options are there. What is the resource group? Currently here the VM is running. Correct, right? VM is running in which location it is deployed and subscription ID, availability zone 1. Operating system is there, Windows 2019 data center operating system with how many CPUs, how much memory, all these here sizes can be increased. Means our team can increase the sizes, they can make all the necessary settings here. Standard IP address here. This is a public IP. Public IP. So through this public IP, we need to take RTP. Okay, why? Because 3389 that RTP port is already open, right? While creating, we can use this. But already I've said this public IP will get changed if we reboot the VM. Here see all the options are there. Stop the VM means shut down the machine, restart the machine. Okay, so delete. Okay, all the options are available. Let's we connect to this VM. We'll see what is there in the VM. Means what are the options we have selected: CPU, memory, number of disk, network IP is there, which is the public IP. Plus we have private IP for this VM, right? So all those things we can validate. Okay, let me connect. Here see like I am saying connect. So once we say connect, automatically it will download what? RTP, native RTP. Here see, this is our public IP. We can use this public IP or directly say download RTP file. Normally in real time we know, right? We can't connect directly to any SQL VM, right? Normally in real time. So we'll connect through some PAM tool, right? Yes, like a safeguard or some tool. So what our system team will do once the VM is deployed successfully, they will share this RTP file with the security team who is maintaining that tool. like safeguard or any PAM tool. So they will configure in the tool. Okay. So as a DBA, we know like how we'll connect to like local VM. Uh, First connect to safeguard or some tool. From there, we can access the VM. Okay. No need to have this complete Azure portal access for us. Correct, right? Yes. Click on RTP, download RTP, downloaded. Now, see here, connect. Okay. It is asking enter the credentials. Let me enter. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yes. See how simply we have created a virtual machines here for us. Right? No need to purchase any hardware, right? Like various time wasting process. Right. So, okay. So this is the VM just now we have created, but it is like 2019 software is there in the VM. Nothing is there here. Correct, right? In this VM, nothing is there. Okay. So now, if I go to this PC, by default, we have two drives are there. C drive with 126 GB and a temporary drive. So we need to add the additional drives. Means first all these are our, don't again already we know, don't get confusion. These are not our activities, right? Our systems team activities. They can add here additional, means in the storage, they can create the drives, they can add here. Suppose if I go to C drive, we have like some plugins are there which are not required. But here see, then if want to install SQL Server, normally we know, right, we have separate drives. So first our systems team will create what? Separate drives. Okay, one drive for data file, one drive for log files, like that, separate. They will create. That is common. After that, they will provide RTP access to our team. Then we can start working with the RTP access. Normally, see here, if I go to in this VM, mhm, yeah. So we can see here like why? Because in the VM, remember, by default, we have high speed internet, but our systems team, what they will do once the VM is configured, created with required drives, everything. So they will go to the network policy. They will disable this internet access. Okay, that is common. Going here, sorry. This is common now. We can download, we can install SQL Server. We can work with that SQL Server.
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah, one question is there. Suppose at the final stage of VM, we are seeing that there is a private IP and a public IP as well. Since we are
yeah.
using the RDP 3389, is it a default RDP or default port that we are using to connect with the private as well as public? Or
No,
there
this
are
is for public only, right? Private, it will not
okay, that means
allow.
okay,
Yeah, if you see 172, this public IP, this one. Private is for heartbeat for all those activities. Normally, we know, right? This is only what public IP.
And RDP port would be 3810 would be same.
Yeah,
For
same,
both of
same, which is Windows RTP port normally. We know that if it is Linux, we have 22 RTP port. Here for Windows, it is same 3389. Okay, right. This is just how we are creating a virtual machine. Basically, in that now we can continue with what we want, like SQL Server, whatever we want, we can install. But we have seen, like if I go back to here, databases, check here, we have some different images are there here. SQL Server 2019 Enterprise on Windows Server 2022, for example. Here, see in this scenario, if I create a VM, for example, uh, automatically SQL Server software is available in that VM. Okay, no need to download separately. Directly, what we can do, we can start with installation. But I think recently, let me go through one time. This is our instance name SQL VM2. Select the size. While practicing also what you can do, you can select the basic sizes only. No need to select the high-end sizes so that the price amount should not be exhausted fastly. We can use this anyhow. This is for 1 month. We are not running the VM for 1 month, right? Okay, selected. Okay. Mm. Mm. Okay. To take some. This resource is not available. It is saying maybe with this template. No problem. I will use some another account later. So, but what we have to understand here, like that's why normally we can create a Windows machine in that we can install configure SQL Server by downloading. But if you take with this template, automatically SQL Server is available here. We can just start installation and configuration directly. Right. It is not allowing for me. Let me try once again. Okay, okay. Okay, per hour cost is there. By yeah. Hmm. Authorization failed for this template. You can't use this. It is saying, okay, let me, we need to use one more account. No problem. That is like differences are there by creating what normal VM and we can have like VM with the SQL Server software. So let me disconnect. Okay, this is my VM. Yeah, same thing like we can do all the activities like restarting VMs, all those other activities can be done here. Okay, right. Okay, so that's like we can, but if you restart, what will happen? This public IP is lost. here. Do you want to restart? Yes, I'm saying. So we'll get one more IPs assigned. That's why we need to, our systems team, what they will do, they will go with the static IPs. Right. Okay. So we have like Azure subscriptions are there. Basically, whatever the services, let's whenever you want to start any service, we know already it is a subscription based model, right? In any Azure, any cloud platform. Utilization Azure requires three services. One is we should have Microsoft account, not compulsory. We can have any other account. We need to create a subscription. Then we have to subscribe to specific services to start working with. Just the steps it is showing. Uh, yeah, already we know we can create a free subscription to start working with. Right. Then, this is just what we have seen, just introduction part we have seen, as well as what are the services are available in Microsoft Azure, what are the different types of services available. Just we have gone through the console like a portal, Azure portal, just to create what one VM and SQL database. Right. Then next year we'll start with already just in the summary we have to understand. We have summarized that for SQL Server as a SQL Server DBA, we need to work with three main services for SQL Server. One is SQL Database, Azure SQL Database for small scale applications. Then Azure SQL VM, like same, like or on-premises workload. You want to take as it is into Azure. Okay, we have lift and shift type of options are there. While migrating, we'll see that while in migration. Then we have managed instance. Managed instance is basically for medium scale applications where always Microsoft maintains latest SQL Server version. Okay. In case of Azure SQL database, it is V12 version. Then in case of VM, we can decide which version we want, which OS we want. Complete machine is dedicated with us. Whereas in Azure SQL managed instance, the middle one actually, it always Microsoft maintains with the latest version, and basically it is almost all. It is a shared one, shared instance. Right. We'll see one by one. Let me go. First, we'll go with the Azure PaaS services. Platform as a service will work completely with the Azure SQL database. First, what are all the options are there for us? Monitoring, alerting, automation, configuration, uh, as well as backups. Different types of backups, everything. Then we'll work with Azure SQL VMs. Okay, so then we'll work with a managed instance. So in that we'll see so many exercises we'll see. Already till now some labs are available. Once you create a subscription, the weekends sometimes whenever you are free, just go through these labs. I will share with you. First one we have seen already, creating SQL database in yesterday's class. Here in this lab, you can see like how to create what different databases. Means like how to create MySQL database. Uh, database for Postgres. Azure Cosmos DB is there. Basically, it is a NoSQL database, like MongoDB or something like that, right, in the market. So here, like in this demo, like how to, yeah, to after creating MySQL database to connect it, we need MySQL Workbench, like similar to SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio Workbench. Then to connect with Cosmos DB Postgres, we can use this Data Studio. Like step by steps are there for practice purpose, so you can go through this one demo so that it will be easy for you, like to learn. We'll get more confidence once we practice. Basically, Cosmos DB is like our this mm, NoSQL database, right? Like MongoDB, Cassandra, right? Where we have key value pairs. Like this is same, which is cloud base, Azure Cosmos DB. Then this is, we have one more exercise. This is only for PostgreSQL. Means we can create a PostgreSQL database for testing purpose. So then we can connect. Already we know under databases we have Azure database for Postgres. So like we have different options are there. We can go through those options. So which type of access we want? Same thing, public access from which IP, right? So from our current IP, or if we want to allow everyone, we need, right? Yesterday we have seen 0.0.0, 0.0.0. So once it is created, resource is ready. Same thing, server name is there. Okay, by using this server name, like how we have connected yesterday, we can connect. Here in PostgreSQL, we have uh, Postgres tool is that pSQL is that command prompt tool. By using pSQL, we can connect directly. Okay, so like the command shell in the Azure itself, we have command shell also. If we go to portal, in the command shell itself, we can connect here. See, if I go to here, we'll go to command shell directly. From there, is connecting to the database. PSQL host name, the server name, which is displayed here. This one, server name, host name. Then hyphen hyphen port 5243 is the default port for Postgres here. Then username, which we have created, database name. Default database is Postgres. Once connected, it is showing the Postgres prompt here. Then we can create databases. We have seen like in my MS SQL, we are using use database name. Here we have /c database name. Connect to that database name. Just is doing some practicing Postgres. So like that's like how we are like then we can delete the resources. Okay. So so that is like post means you can try to practice this one PostgreSQL exercise later. Okay, right. Just 1 minute. Right. Okay. So Azure SQL VM, you will see one time with the SQL Server installation that we'll see while discussing the uh, IaaS environment, infrastructure as a service. There I will show you, like first we'll see the basics like storage related, networking related, means virtual networks, means whatever the components are required within the VM, right? VM architecture we have seen. Those components first we'll see in detail. Then we'll start with the VM for easy understanding. Then next one see like SQL Server. Sorry, VMs. Okay, yes. This is our pass. One second. Before that, we have this material is there. I will share you all this material. Means whatever the tools we'll use here as part of our course. Uh, Tools are already I have downloaded here. We need Active Directory connection, DMA database migration assistant to migrate from on-premises to Azure. Then we have data sync option is there, like which is similar to replication or always on in PaaS. If want to sync from local uh, machine to Azure database, we need to install this in our local machine or local VM. We are like these tools we'll use while yeah in the course. Then let me go back here. Where are my actually right? We have like exam TP 300. We can guide is there. I will provide you. I will share with you. Actually, these PPTs are there from Microsoft, like as a MCT, Microsoft Certified Trainer. I will get all these materials in general. Uh, where I can use this also as a official one. Uh, yeah, this also there, but means like yeah, Azure storage, find Azure SQL platform. Yeah, as part of Azure SQL platform as a service PaaS, we have Azure SQL databases are there and managed instances there. As part of IaaS, we have seen we have VMs, virtual machines. We'll see this is there, but this is some high level PPT. I will share with you this one also here, like complete description is there, but very high level PPT. Okay, so what we'll do, like we'll start with the PaaS actually, like how we are working with in detail. Okay, what are the different options are there in case of what platform as a service? Uh, just is define. One second. Okay. Uh, it's yeah, okay. So it's need to arrange in some order so that it will be easy for us to think they are mixing here and there in the PPT. Okay, so what I will do, like, we'll conclude the session here tomorrow. Today, tomorrow we'll continue. Let me arrange this in order. We'll start with Azure SQL databases. Already my PPT is there. 1 second here. Yes. Okay, it is there here. We have here. We have here step by step. No problem. We'll work with this one. In middle, what I will do, I will add from here. Uh, what is there with some good information? That PP slide I will add here. Right. So basically, like PaaS, we know already, it is platform as a service where we can create a database directly, okay, without hosting a separate VM to reduce the cost. Okay, so here we'll see completely both SQL, Azure SQL database and Azure SQL managed instance. Okay, one point just you remember, in case of Azure SQL database, always version is fixed actually V12. Whereas in Azure SQL managed instance, we have always latest version. Uh, the in one slide, already differences are there. Uh, we can go through that slide. Complete differences between the SQL database and managed instance. Managed instance is a scalable cloud database service that's always running on the latest, already have said, latest stable version of SQL Server and a patched OS with 99.99% means two nines availability. 100% compatibility with SQL Server. PaaS capabilities built into Azure SQL Manage enable you to focus on domain-specific database administration and after something he's saying. So that we'll see that anyhow. Managed instance. Yeah, here some differences they have given here, but we'll discuss some more differences in the tomorrow's class. Okay. Fine, then we'll conclude the session here today. We'll continue, okay, in the tomorrow's class. Tomorrow, what we'll do better, we'll take compulsory in the morning. Yesterday, I think some deployments were there. I forget actually. And I said morning will take. So night it was delayed yesterday. So tomorrow we can take in the morning compulsory. That same 9 o'clock. Okay, right.